Halacha is Daf Lamed Zayin. If a person eats a mixture that includes one of the 5 grains, you have to make a Bayir Mei Mezonot. Unless, like we said the other day, Tosfos brings down that if the 5 grains act as a binder, then it's a shahakal. Now we're going to be discussing the sugya of pas oirez and pas doichan, bread of oirez and doichan. What is oirez? Rashi says oirez is millet and doichan is panic grass. But many other Rishonim are mechulik on Rashi. It's brought down la halakha that oirez is what we call today rice, and in Israel oirez is rice. So what bracha do you make if you eat rice bread, and what bracha achrona do you make? It's a 4-way machlokes. Rav and Shmuel hold that you make a shahakol, and afterwards you make a bayir nefashis. And this will come as a very big surprise to a lot of people. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri holds on the other end that you make a hamaitzi and a birkas hamazon on rice bread. Rabbanan, and this is how we paskin today, you make a mezonot and a bayir nefashis. And Gamliel holds you make a mezonot and ala michya. But once we mention bayir nefashis, we have to mention Tosfos. Tosfos explains what the words of bayir nefashis means. It's a beautiful Tosfos. Tosfos says, bayir nefashis rabbis v'chesroinam. What does v'chesroinam mean? It means what's essential to life. Bread and water. So we thank Hashem for bread and water. Al kol ma shebarasa lahachayos b'em nefesh kol choy, says Tosfos. It means all the luxuries that are not essential to life. Imagine if HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us just bread and water. All we eat all day long is bread and water. How boring. But Hashem gave us steaks and chocolate and candy and pizza. All the great stuff. Lahachayos b'em nefesh kol choy. What about oatmeal? What bracha do you make on oatmeal porridge? According to Rabbanon, you make a mezonot. That's what we do today, and we make a al michya. But according to Rabbi Gamliel, and this is a huge chiddush, you make a birkas hamazon when you're done eating oatmeal. If somebody chews grain, you make a bayir pri adama. But if you ground it and baked it and cooked it, it depends. If it remains as a bread, it looks like a bread, then you make hamaitzi, and if it doesn't look like bread, you make a mezonot. According to Rabbi Yehuda, who says you have to be more specific when it comes to bayir pri adama, so in the Mishnah he says that if you're eating cabbage or lettuce, you have to make bayir minei d'shaib. Over here he holds that if you chew grain, you have to make bayir minei ziraim. What if you chew rice? You make also bayir pri adama. And if you ground it, baked it, and cooked it, and it remains looking like rice bread, you make a mezonot. According to Rabbi Gamliel, all shivas haminim, pomegranates, dates, etc., you would have to make a birkas hamazon when you're done eating it. It's unbelievable. The Gemara tells us a story that Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Akiva, they were eating dates, and Rabbi Gamliel told Rabbi Akiva, you say the bracha achrona. Rabbi Akiva jumped ahead and made a ala michya. Rabbi Gamliel was upset. I'm the Rebbe, you know I hold that it's birkas hamazon. So Rabbi Akiva told Rabbi Gamliel, but you yourself paskin that you should go by the Rav, and Rav hold that you make on dates and shivas haminim, you make ala michya. The Gemara brings different types of food. One of them is a chavitza, which is almost like a challah kugel, let's say. It's a tafshel that has bread in it. Says the Gemara, if the size of the bread is a kazayis, then you would have to make hamaitzi. If it's less than a kazayis, it's a mezonot. And we learned this from when a Yisrael brings his mincha, and he hasn't brought one in a very long time, according to Rashi, he makes a shechiyanu. If the kohen eats from the mincha, he makes a hamaitzi, provided that the pieces are a kazayis. So you see that you need a kazayis in order to make a hamaitzi. There's a brayso that says that if somebody gathered crumbs from the mincha, and he eats the crumbs in a chatzi pras, in a shir of a chatzi pras, meaning he ate 4 kibetzim in 3 to 9 minutes, so he could be yaitza the matzah, because matzah is lechem ayni, and this is really poor bread. But he's also chayiv on chametz, if it's chametz. We must say that it's talking about a situation where these crumbs come from a larger bread that's still in existence, and therefore these crumbs have chashivos. La halacha, chavitza that has crumbs that are less than a kazayis, you make a hamoitzi if you could see that these crumbs come from bread. They are bread. It has a tzura din a hama. Now, if the crumbs are larger than a kazayis, even if you can't tell that they are from a bread, you'd still make hamoitzi. Taisus holds, and this is how we paskin, that we're not talking about cooked chavitza. It's actually just bound together through some other thing, like with eggs or something. And only in that situation do you need a kazayis. But la halakha, if you eat crumbs of bread, then even without binding them together, it's definitely a hamoitzi. There's something called truknin, the Gemara says, which is also known as kuba da'ara. It's a very liquidy dough, maybe perhaps something like pancake dough, and you put it in the oven. Says the Gemara that according to Ravan, it's chayv and chala, and according to Rabbi Yochanan, it's pater from chala. Teresa. What is Teresa? There are three explanations. One is that it's a very, very thin batter, maybe something like a blintz batter. Another pshat is it's Indian bread, it's dough that's on a spit, and you turn it around and you put some oil on it and eggs. Or it's what's known as kutach. Kutach is bread that's made in the sun. All these three things, whatever the pshat is, are pater from challah. Now we know that kutach is chayiv and challah. So we must say that kutach, that a person decided to make it as bread, and you see he went through the effort, he made a nice design, a nice shape, that's chayiv b'challah. But if he just threw it down and it looks like just a plain board, that would be pater from challah. Have a wonderful day.